Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And so today I'm going to be talking about curly hair, but not just anybody's curly hair, specifically targeted towards my girls in the military. So as some of you may or may not know, I am a hairstylist and I do live close to a military base, and I've pretty much lived here my whole life. So I've been around the military my whole life. I have a huge respect for it. And living close to a military base, I get a lot of clients coming in. And when you live next to a military base, you get to meet so many different people from all over the country. I mean, you have people from another coast, some people from the Midwest, people from up north, people from down south. I mean, you just meet so many different people from different places. So at my shop, I work with a lot of curly hair. I can really consider myself a curly hair specialist, a natural specialist, because I would say about 80% of my clientele is curly girls from all ranges, ethnicity, types of curls, looser curls, tighter curls. I mean, everything that you can think of. And I love to educate my clients. Helicopters are going by. I'm a firm believer that if you can't teach your clients like what to do when they're at home, then it's kind of like your work just kind of goes to waste. Because yes, they can come and you can make them look great and fabulous, but if they're not taking proper care of their hair at home, then it's like, what are you really doing? So I get a lot of clients and women particularly that have curly hair that are in the military, and a lot of them are very clueless as to exactly what to do, steps that they can take to maintain their hair, because in all reality the military doesn't necessarily cater, especially to us more ethnic girls with curly hair. The hair regulations are very strict and minimal. There's not a lot of styles that you can actually do in the military. So I wanted to make this video for my clients and other military girls with curly hair all the way around the country. And, you know, yes, this is more targeted towards my military girls today, but, you know, everybody with curly hair can take away from some of the tips I'm going to be giving you guys today. And even people with straight hair, because hair, it really is hair. And yes, some of us need a little bit more moisture than others, but taking care of your hair should just be equal across the board. So first, let's start with the foundation, your at-home care. What you should be doing at home every time you come home from work or from drill or from wherever you're at, and what you should be doing to make sure that your hair is staying healthy. Some of you ladies may already know some of the tips that I'm going to be saying and giving throughout this video, but believe it or not, there are a vast majority of women that do not know even some of these most basic tips. So I can't just assume that everybody already knows everything. So I'm really going to try to break this video down into layman's terms, like if I'm speaking to somebody for the first time about curly hair. So let's start with when it comes to shampooing and conditioning the hair. In all reality, curly hair is naturally dry, it's naturally frizzy, more so for the reason that because our texture is more in a spiral, the oils, the natural sebum, that's the technical term for the oils coming out of your scalp, it's sebum, it can't reach all the way down the hair follicle to the ends. So because of our texture, it kind of stops like midway. So for that reason, it is our responsibility to put the remaining moisture on the ends of our hair. Given like if somebody with straight hair, I mean their hair can get very oily super quick. And I know whenever I do straighten my hair, it gets oily super quick. But when my hair is curly, it is not the case. So first I want to make a point in saying that shampooing your hair less is actually better for your hair. I know growing up, we all have this idea in our head that you have to shampoo your hair every day because if you're not, you're dirty or you have poor hygiene. And with curly hair, that is not the case. The less, the better. Because some shampoos and a lot of shampoos in our reality are very stripping of the hair, and so it'll strip any type of oil and moisture we do have in our hair. Quite the contrary to what a lot of people believe when it comes to lice, and I know this is a little side note, lice love clean hair. So that's just a little food for thought when you're taking your kids to school and all that stuff. Lice love clean hair because they can cling to it. They don't like moisturized, conditioned, oily hair or anything like that because they can't hold on to the hair strand. So just keep that in mind. So back to what we're talking about. So yes, shampooing the hair less is better for the hair. I recommend shampooing your hair once a week if possible. I understand depending on your type of job in the military, maybe you're out in the field a lot and you know, you're sweating and grass and all types of stuff, or bugs are outside trying to fly in your hair, and I get it, it's gross, you want to wash it, you want to rinse it, something. So in this case, I recommend co-washing your hair. Now, if you've never heard of co-washing is a cleansing conditioner, and thankfully curly hair has become so much more socially acceptable that a lot of companies have, a lot of curly hair companies have been coming out with co-washes. And basically what this does, it cleanses the scalp, but it's also conditioning the hair. So it's different from a traditional shampoo that will, I mean, it cleans, deep cleans your hair, and then a co-wash. So one of my favorite co-washes to use is the Diva Curl Decadence co-wash, and I actually have mine here today, and this is what it looks like. It's a zero lather ultra moisturizing milk cleansing, and they call it the No Poo. It's 100% sulfate, paraben, silicone free. So this is the one that I use. So this is good that if you need that rinse, or maybe even if you just want to have that full effect of just completely wetting your hair down in the shower, but you don't want to strip it and you want to make sure you're taking care of your curls, co-washing. Now you can co-wash once or twice a week if you need to. So don't be afraid to co-wash, but shampoo, like an actual deep clean with a shampoo, I recommend only once a week. So next, I definitely recommend deep conditioning your hair. A lot of people do not deep condition their hair, and it is extremely important. It's when you just take the time and you put a very hydrating, moisturizing, conditioning conditioner into your hair and you allow it to sit. You allow the follicles of your hair to absorb and to drink up all the moisture and the condition, and it makes your hair feel so soft. It leaves your hair so shiny, and you'll notice your curls will even be like more bouncier. But giving, like again, in your job, it is so important to make sure you are conditioning your hair. Well, deep conditioning it. And there's so many ways. You can either go to a salon and get a deep conditioner, and then most of the time they're fairly inexpensive. You can also do an at-home deep condition where you get your favorite conditioner. If you don't have an actual deep conditioner, you can get just your favorite conditioner that you have at home, and you could just lather it in your hair, wet your hair down, lather it in there from root to ends, and get a shower cap, or you could even get a grocery bag and just tie it around your hair and just allow it to sit while you're cleaning, while you're watching a movie, while you're watching one of my videos. Like, you can just let it sit and just go about your day. And I recommend doing this once every week or 2 weeks. Preferably once a week is probably just best to do, but I understand not everybody always feels like they have the time to just sit there and let conditioner sit in their hair. Definitely once a month, for sure. One of my favorite things I like to do in the shower, if you really feel like you just don't have the time for a deep condition, is you keep a clip in the shower, and after you've shampooed or you co-washed your hair, then take your conditioner, lather it all in your hair, then clip your hair up, and then proceed with the rest of your shower, whether you gotta shave your legs, wash your body, whatever the case may be, and just let it sit there for the whole time. And then the steam in the shower is gonna help open up those cuticles so that your hair follicles can absorb all the moisturizing additives in the conditioner. So two of my favorite deep conditions right now as the moment, I've been trying out recently the Amika Soul Food Nourishing Mask. This smells so good. I've been using it on my clients as well, and they love it. And it just leaves the hair so soft, so shiny, and I've been loving this. I'm waiting to buy the full size amount. but also my tried and true, can't forget my people. I love my Dominican Magic, and hopefully you guys can see it, the lights aren't reflecting on. This is the Nourishing Natural Treatment Deep Fortifying Conditioner, and with a deep hot oil treatment. I use this in my salon with my clients, all of my curly girls, deep condition. This is the stuff that I absolutely love. I mean, both of these products are really, really good. So next we're gonna talk about styling your hair, these military buns. Let me tell you ladies, even though I understand the regulations and you have to have a slick back bun, but be very careful. Your hair is fragile and it's the only hair you're gonna get for a while because, you know, let's just say you cut it all off. It takes anywhere between 1.5 years to 2 years for your hair to actually grow back. So you wanna take care of it while you have all this long, luscious, curly hair. There are a few things you can do to help maintain the healthiness of your hair and still be in the military and having to wear your hair back in a bun style. So I'm gonna be talking about a few styling products that you can actually use. So first, what I like to recommend is using hydrating products first. Because I know you need the hold and I know you need the slick back and it to be nice and hard or whatever, but use your hydrating products first. So using a leave-in conditioner is great. I would use that first. Then I would go in with some cream products that can give your hair a little bit of hold. As of right now, I've been dabbling back into my Curls brand. This is the Creme Brulee Whipped Curl Cream. I absolutely love it. It smells so good. Nice and sweet, and I've been loving it in my hair. It leaves my hair feeling so like conditioned and moisturized, and I like it. So I would lather something similar to that in my hair first. Next, then we can start going into some of the gels. Thankfully, like I mentioned before, a lot of companies are finally picking up on what us curly girl needs in our products. And so I've been testing out the Eco Style Black Castor Oil and Flaxseed Gel. This is really good. It has really good ingredients, but it's also going to give you the hold. We don't always have to get these products that are super high in alcohol because that's something you want to kind of stray away from as much as possible. Just because the alcohol in the products can dry your hair out. My other two options that I absolutely love are my Diva Curl. I'm a Diva Curl girl. So I have the Light Defining Gel, and this just gives a soft hold and a no crunch. And then I also have the Archangel Gel, and this gives maximum hold. And I love both of these products. I use them on different days. It just depends on what I'm wanting from my hair that particular day. And then you can go on top of that and go ahead and style your hair as you regularly would. Now, when it comes to the actual bun portion of your hair, I recommend going about it a few other ways. So traditionally, you learn how to do the sock bun, right? So you just get a big old pair of thick black socks, cut the toe off, and you kind of roll it and it kind of forms into like a donut shape, and you place that, and typically that's how you do it. So I don't recommend that. I don't recommend using a sock bun to form your bun, and I understand for some women, depending on the length of the hair, it's just the easiest way to get a nice bun out of it. So what I've started recommending to my clients are using two other different products. I recommend using a silk sock and then just forming that into your bun, or I recommend using the bun shapers that they have that's almost like a sponge material. So either one of those are not going to absorb the oil out of your hair. Traditional sock buns will dry your ends out because they're made out of cotton, and cotton absorbs oil. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen my military girls and those ends are just broken off, dried, lifeless. Like, so those are the other two options I recommend aside from using an actual sock. Now, if you're wondering why I'm saying silk sock, is because silk is not going to absorb any oil out of your hair. It's going to help keep it in your hair. It's going to keep your hair smooth. So, but if you don't need to use a sock, then you can just put your hair in a traditional braid, twist it around, and then bobby pin it. That's always best in my opinion. If you're able to, if your hair is long enough to do that, then I would recommend that. But definitely, like I said, hydrate your hair, hydrate those ends, put oil or cream, leave-in conditioner, whatever it is, and braid the hair. I also have been dabbling in using the puff cuff. This is what it looks like, and I'll take out the package so you guys can see. It's around. So this is supposed to help replace your traditional scrunchie or hairband, because those can be really harsh on the hair, especially when you're pulling it back so tight. It can break the hair, rip the hair. It's really not good. So I really appreciate a product like this. I've been using it in my hair and I like it because I am a bun girl, not necessarily just always in the back, which I do wear it like that, but I always throw my hair on top. And so, but from using your regular elastic band, my hair would start to like rip here on the side and it would start getting really thin. So I've been using this and I'm really liking it. I think I need to get one size down because, believe it or not, my hair really is fine. And now I know she is starting to sell these in Sally Beauty stores. So I found this one in my local Sally Beauty store, or you can find it online as well. So the next 2 points that I want to make when it comes to actually styling the hair is, the first one is to try not to pull the hair back so tight. I know it looks good, and you know, I know you do have regulations to follow, and I'm not saying walk around with a loose bun, but try not to pull it back so tight. And my second point is, and not to pull it back tight while it's wet, especially dripping wet. It's like 2 of the biggest mistakes I see all the time with my clients. So when your hair is wet, it's in its weakest state, and it's very easy to break. And so when your hair is dripping wet and you're, pulling it back, and some girls, they don't only just use one scrunchie. Some girls I know, they're using like 2, 3 scrunchies or elastic bands. And it's just like, you're breaking your hair. And like sometimes when I'm brushing the hair out, and I can see exactly like where the breakage is, like where that band sits. And so try to make sure that your hair is at least like 50% dry, I recommend. And you can always detangle it. So what I like to use to detangle hair is the wet brush. This is a paddle version of the wet brush. This is so easy on the hair. I know back in the day we used to use wide tooth combs to detangle the hair, but once this came out and I discovered this, it was like a game changer. I also sell this in my salon to all of my clients, and to all of my curly clients especially. So yes, do not pull the hair back while it's extremely wet, and try not to pull it back so tight. We have some clients that actually have balding spots in their hair from being in the military for over 20 years, and have completely ripped out all like the back of the hair, the edges here on the side. I mean, just completely bald. And it's unfortunate because that's permanent damage. Like there's just nothing that you can do unless they were to get a hair transplant maybe. But that's just permanent damage. And yes, I know you respect your career and this is your career, but to me, there's just no career worth losing your hair permanently. So there are ways you can go about protecting your hair, because that, like I said, that's permanent damage. Like the hair is just never going to grow back. Not only that, a lot of women started getting rolls on the back of their head from pulling so tight, and the skin is like, your scalp skin is pretty much stretching, and so the skin starts to fold over in the back. So you just want to be mindful of those things when you're styling into your military bun. So when you've come home from a long day at work and it's time to release your hair from that bun, and I know it feels so good, and I know sometimes even the scalp kind of hurts from having it pulled back all day. So a few tips that I recommend, you know, taking it down from your bun, be spritzing it a little bit with a water bottle. You could even mix some of your conditioner and the water and kind of spray that. I recommend detangling your hair. And if you can, put it in a little braid for the next day, because I know you have to wake up early and to get to work. And I recommend, yeah, just braiding it and putting a little rubber band at the end and kind of just going to sleep with that. So that way at least it stays in its shape and you don't have to like fuss with it and fight with it the next morning and ripping the hair. That's just not a good thing. But one of my biggest tips I definitely recommend is when it's time to go to sleep. So I recommend either getting a silk bonnet or a silk pillowcase. I have my silk pillowcase right here. This is the way it looks, and this is the package that it came in. I got mine at my local beauty supply store. It was literally maybe like $3 or $5. I mean, they do. Now, there are some brands that sell some expensive ones, because I know a lot of people use it actually even for skincare, because for the same concept of your hair, it's the same concept of your skin. So traditional pillow covers are made out of cotton, and what does it do? It is absorbing the oil and the moisture out of your hair. Especially us, like, you ever get those like little knots right here in the lower back of your neck from sleeping, because you know you're rubbing your head and you're tossing and turning or whatever the case may be. That doesn't happen with a silk pillowcase. So if you can't commit to putting on a bonnet every night, get you a silk pillowcase. It is a game changer, and your hair is so soft. It's even less frizzier in the mornings. I highly recommend it. Now, my last tip that I have for you ladies is to find a stylist in your area. Wherever your base is, find a stylist. Yes, it is nerve-wracking, especially with curly hair, because it is true. Not all stylists know how to cut, know how to work with curly hair, but please do your research and please try to find somebody, because one of the things that I've noticed, and not even just with my military curly girls, with a lot of people, but specifically with my curly girls, they do not want to get their hair cut. And it's just like, listen, you have to get your ends trimmed. Like, there's just no way around it. You have to get your ends trimmed, especially in the military, especially if you're doing old school sock bun style and all that stuff. Your ends are getting dried out, they're getting ripped out if you're not taking proper care of them. Your hair is not gonna grow longer if you do not get your ends trimmed. So your hair will grow if you don't get it trimmed. It'll grow from your scalp. Like, that's not the problem. It's just, but by the time it gets to the end, it's just gonna break. I highly recommend you finding a stylist. One of the tips that I like to give to my clients that are moving away, going to new areas, and they're nervous about finding a new stylist is go online. Go on your Facebooks, go on Instagram, Yelp, Google, do it all. Look up salons. Type in, you know, curly girl salons, even, you know, stylists that are certified in diva cuts, stuff like that. Go to those places. I always recommend getting a simple service, the initial visit, whether it's just like a style or a deep condition or just a shampoo or something simple. So that way you can go, you can get a feel for the salon, you can get a feel for the stylist. Then you can start asking them questions in person, like, okay, are you knowledgeable in curly hair? Have you worked with it before? Do you feel comfortable doing it? Do you know how to trim curly hair? All of those things. So this is probably the biggest recommendation I'm giving you guys, is make sure you get your ends trimmed. You can still have long, pretty, curly hair in the military. Like, it doesn't have to be that, oh, I can never have healthy hair because I'm in the military and I always have to have it back in a bun. Like, no, you can, but you just have to take these steps. And I know it can seem a little bit overwhelming, especially for those people that had no idea that they could even be doing these things. But once you get the hang of it, it's just going to become second nature. So I really hope that all of this advice and all of these tips help you girls in your curly journey and making sure that your hair is staying healthy and conditioned and moisturized, even in the military. I just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to all of you girls that are in the military. And with a curly, straight hair, it doesn't matter. I just want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for sacrificing all that you do for our country. You are greatly appreciated. So once again, I hope all of this was helpful. Please, if you guys have any other questions about anything that I've said, and anybody else out there that's watching this, maybe there's another piece of advice or other tips that you can give that maybe I didn't mention, or maybe I don't know, or I've forgotten. Please leave that in the comment section for other girls to read. I think it's important that we help one another. I've really enjoyed doing this video. I love educating in general, but I especially love educating my clients. I love educating you guys watching my videos. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Also, if you want to see a tutorial on this makeup look that I'm wearing today, like this video, because I really enjoyed the way it came out. It's very simple. I used to wear this makeup look all the time. It's simple, a nice base, liner, lashes, and a nude lip. And I really like it. So if you guys do want to see a video on it, then just go ahead and like the video. And I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you in my next video.